Hi, and welcome. I'm Penny, I forgot who I was. I'm Penny Dix AstroCoach, and this is my overview of what I feel the energies are going to give us for 2021. So, here we go, and I know we will all be hoping that 2021 is going to deliver a lot more comfortable energies than we've experienced in 2020. And I actually want to start out by just giving you a couple of affirmations that I feel really express what I feel we can expect in 2021. Now, these two affirmations that I'm about to read to you are quotes from a book called The Master Key System. And this is a very old book, which was written in 1910, and it's by an author called Charles F. Harnell. And if you want to know more about it, please get in touch with me, and I will let you know what it's about and how it may help you. So this is the first quote that I wanted to pick up from here. And if you go into 2021 with this kind of feeling, I think you're going to find it really helpful. I am whole. I am perfect, strong, powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. You must first have the knowledge of your power. Second, the courage to dare. And third, the faith to do. So why have I brought these quotes in today? Well, for me, 2021 is very much going to be determined in how we experience it by our attitude and the way we are able to adapt our thinking and our feeling to what will come up for us. We're moving from this dense, difficult energy that we've had in 2020 of the sign of Capricorn. Now, Capricorn is all about structure. It's the old guard. It's about tradition. It's about institutions, governments, and the way things have been done for many, many years. Now, I think we're all aware that on some level, some of this has to change. It has to shift to embrace the new. And it's to embrace the new energy that we're getting in 2021. And, you know, a door was finally closed, firmly closed, in the middle of December, when both Saturn and Jupiter left Capricorn for Aquarius. So what is Aquarius? What is Aquarian energy? Well, it's a very interesting energy because Aquarius is about, in some ways, it's about the bigger picture. It's about larger groups in the collective. It can also be about our intentions, our dreams, our wishes for what we would like to bring into our lives, what we would like to manifest into our lives. And Aquarius is also very much about the superconscious. That's my feeling anyway. And about how if we are able to lift our energies into this kind of superconscious energy and recognize that the old ways don't work anymore. It's like with Capricorn, we saw the end of, if you like, the old guard. It's like we have to have the new guard. We have to have a new way. Aquarian energy respects that. we're all familiar with the very well-known song from the, was it 60s or 70s, I can't remember, in the musical Hair, about the dawning of the age of Aquarius. And the dawn of the age of Aquarius actually takes several hundred years. So we are taking baby steps into that era. Now, the things that I want to point out about this year astrologically, because let's just pull it back to 2021, is that the emphasis is going to be on the sign of Aquarius and also on the sign of Taurus. Now, Taurus is quite different from Aquarius, although they're both fixed. And when signs are fixed, it means they're quite stubborn in the way they put their energy out there. Taurus is an earth sign. Aquarius is an air sign. Taurus is about our possessions, our money, our bartering system, the way we survive in the world, our markets, our trading, our property. And it's about our acquisitions, and it's about what we've got. Aquarius isn't about that. Aquarius is about much more about what can the collective have. Now, Taurus as a sign and Aquarius square each other, which is a hard, harsh angle. And because we've got both Saturn and Jupiter in Aquarius for the year of 2021, what we have is Saturn, the planet of stability, restriction, rules, laws. We're going to see a lot of that still with Saturn in Aquarius with regard to the pandemic situation. We are still going to have to adhere to rules, even though things will change this year, and I think we know that anyway, because we've got the vaccine readily available. But it's not going to get us out of the woods straight away. But we've also got Jupiter in Aquarius. Jupiter is the planet of truth, of thinking, of really, again, higher-minded things. It's of the superconscious again. It's the planet about, it's about teaching, it's about moving, it's about travel. And I think in some way our consciousness has to travel, has to move away from the way we've been feeling and thinking for quite a few years. So what's the problem with this? Well, the thing is that Uranus, our planet of surprise, the unexpected, shocks, it can also be invention, innovation, eureka moments, is in Taurus. And Uranus, interestingly, rules Aquarius alongside the planet Saturn. Now, these two big boys, as I call them, Saturn and Uranus make harsh angles to each other throughout the year. When I do the individual months, I'll talk about when you need to be more alerted to the fact that we're going to have this hard square, this challenging aspect from Uranus to Saturn. But what can we expect when this is going on? Well, Saturn is tradition. So Saturn is very much about the old ways and the rules. And I think when Uranus comes up to make difficult angles to Saturn, he's going to be challenging that. And I think in many ways we may experience times this year where there is quite a surge of feeling against the traditional way of doing things, the traditional routines. And at some points this year, and that's towards the beginning of the year, and notably in January, Mars, our god of energy, action, war, he comes up into Taurus and he is conjunct Uranus in Taurus. So they will both be making this hard angle to Saturn and to Jupiter loosely. But Jupiter's screaming ahead in Aquarius. And when Mars and Uranus conjunct, and we have this hard angle to Saturn, I think on an individual level, it may be a sense that we want to break out. We've had enough. We just want things to change, and we want them to change now in whatever areas of our life are most relevant to us. And I feel that on the sort of, if you like, the world stage, we will see that on a collective level, that there may well be, events that cause people to really try and vent their feelings. The other side of that is that Uranus, when it's in an earth sign like Taurus particularly, can mean literally that we have events taken out of our hands by the planet. So we may see extreme weather. We may see volcanic eruptions or earthquakes that kind of completely throw us off course and divert us away from what's been most going on. So these are all the kind of energies that we're going to be experiencing this year. Now, coming as I want to Jupiter now, because Jupiter is our planet of, apart from truth and superconscious thinking, he is also very much about travel, teaching, adventure, and he in Aquarius, I think, is really going to be enabling people to connect to some inner, deeper part of themselves that perhaps they've not been able to access as yet. And you know, you can look at that in whatever way you want to. Whatever your personal way of connecting with, say, a greater energy is, then Jupiter is going to help you to do that and have a better understanding of yourself. Because I do feel that there's going to be a lot of internal work that goes on over the next year for many people who are able to process what they've been through in 2020 and see how they can use that, still with the Pluto energy in Capricorn, to transform themselves, to work in different ways, to think outside the box, because there's no doubt that because we've all been forced over the last year to really work with online ways of communicating, of working, that this is going to be part of our future. And I think it's going to be very challenging for some people who are not particularly tech savvy. And, you know, I really sincerely hope that there are ways that we can encourage countries, governments, councils to help people catch up that really find it very hard and struggle with using the internet or online banking or any of these things, because we're going to really need to kind of up our game, because, you know, Aquarius is also very much about technology. Uranus is about technology. And I think there'll be a lot of people who resist moving with the times of having to sort of, and see danger in it. You know, AI, artificial intelligence. I know nothing about it. I'm just, you know, saying that this is what could come up for people. The other interesting thing about Uranus and Aquarius, which, as I say, these are going to be very much to the fore for this year, is that it's the sign of astrology. And I'm wondering whether many more people will begin to actually look at some of these alternative ways to understand and process what's going on than we have had in the past, and that maybe some of the mystery or misinformation about, say, astrology can be dispelled. I describe astrology as an astrological cosmic weather forecast. We have weather forecasts for all sort of the high systems, the low systems that flow around the planet, the wind direction. And in a sense, astrology just takes a little bit further out. It takes into consideration the movement of all the cosmic bodies. And because they've been observed over many thousands of years, and the information has been collated over many thousands of years to see how, when, say, Uranus in Taurus and Saturn in Aquarius make a hard angle, how that affects us, that's how, as an astrological weather forecaster, I can get a sense of what we might expect. For instance, Uranus in Taurus can bring, as it already has done, upsets in the monetary system and the markets. And we've all found that quite challenging as well, as have a lot of businesses. And whilst Uranus stays in the sign of Taurus, which goes on for several more years, I think we will see a little bit of a kind of, choppy waters where the world economic structure is. And that maybe we're going to have to find better ways to organise our kind of monetary systems. So just as a kind of, just to bring to conclusion what I want to say about the general astrology, and then I'm going to give you keywords for what you can expect for each sign. I think 2021 will shift things quite dramatically. Jupiter is going to be dancing around between Aquarius and Pisces throughout the year. And then at the end of December in 2021, he will finally move into the sign of Pisces. And I'll talk more about that during the year. So Jupiter is going to be quite active. We're going to see this, Uranus active. We'll have our Mercury retrogrades. We've got 3. But as a general overview, I do feel we are moving into a very new way of behaving, relating, looking at how we treat each other and our planet. The planet has made it perfectly clear to us that if we don't respect her life force and stop trashing the planet, the planet will bring in something more dramatic to cause us to slow down and stop. So hopefully we've learned a lot of those lessons through 2020 when we saw how quickly the planet started to recover. So Aquarius is very much, for 2021, the sign, and it's about thinking outside the box. It's about looking for innovative, inventive ways to sustain life for us on this planet, to move into the future with new ways of being, to relate to each other with kindness, to move away from the sort of the lower, baser energies and vibrations of envy, competition, destructiveness, jealousy, and to move into a way of recognizing that we are all, individual lights, and we all have something to bring that is valuable, and to respect that and to lift each other up and not try and put each other down. Because it's only if we lift each other up, which is very much what Aquarian energy is about, that we can get to the point where we can actually collectively live together in a much better way, in a healthier way for all of us, and in a much healthier way for the planet, so that it can survive. So there's a lot to be excited about for 2021. There's a lot of opportunity. Jupiter brings opportunity. And Saturn's steadying influence in Aquarius brings structure to anything that we sort of get carried away with, because Aquarius is an air sign. So anything where we're kind of getting carried away, Saturn is going to be bringing in structure. So I'm now going to move on to what's going to be happening for you. I've got my notes here, individually for each of the signs. So let's start with you, Aries. So for you, I think the basic sense of what's going to be happening for you in 2021 is you really need to overhaul your whole financial system, the way you bank, the way you save, if you're not paying into a pension, even if you're quite young, maybe you should look at things like that. There are some innovative career opportunities for you, Aries, and also wonderful opportunities to reinvent your relationships in ways that you probably didn't think were possible a year ago. It's good, Aries. Taurus, the whole year is very much about your career. This is where the focus is. And if you've been putting the groundwork into career ideas and projects over the last year, I think you'll really begin to see those taking off. You may even decide to relocate or move house. And I think you can expect very much the unexpected in relationships. And that will be in existing relationships and maybe in people that you haven't yet met. Gemini. Well, I think you're going to become rather more philosophic in 2021, Gemini. And you might really shock a few people with the ideas and kind of thoughts that you come up with. But you do need to keep your ideas realistic. And also, a relationship takes off. Cancer. Okay, Cancer. I know you've had a rough time over the last few years with Capricorn as your opposition sign. But this year, keep dreams realistic. Don't overthink. It doesn't serve you well. Try and feel. The moon is your ruler. Sense the moods of the moon and use those. Your relationships are going to transform this year, Cancer. And they're going to transform in a very positive way. And you're going to experience an improvement in your finances. Now we come on to Leo. Well, this year, Leo, there's very much a focus on your personal, close, one-to-one relationships. And that's not necessarily just with a significant other half, soulmate, wife, husband, partner, girlfriend, boyfriend, but with significant relationships in your life. There's an opportunity for really putting some roots down. You may find some relationships, if they've gone past their sell-by date, they will leave. But then there will be other relationships that I think you make more permanent. Your career is going to take off as well. So, there's actually going to be quite a lot going on for you, Leo. And because your career takes off, that could also be quite challenging with your close one-to-one relationships. So try and find the balance, Leo. Virgo, you're going to be completing a project that you've been working on for some time. Also, your relationships are going to really transform this year. You're going to see some dreams coming true where relationships are involved. And don't get too carried away with all of this external excitement, and do pay attention when you need to that inner you, that inner sort of self and psychic you. Libra, you're going to be transforming your home life, Libra. I think there are exciting projects that you will get the green light with, but there may be a price to pay. So I think you've got to, Libra, think very carefully about what serves you best, what really, really serves you best. And also, Libra, your relationships are really going to sort of get quite a boost of energy this year. Scorpio, you could be thinking about moving house, Scorpio. But I think you've also got to look at, do you and your partner or significant other want different things? And what actually is best all round? And there could be additions to the family. Maybe a daughter or a son announces happy news. But there could certainly be additions to the family. Maybe a child gets married, announces an engagement or pregnancy. So there could be things like that. And it could also be quite an expensive year, Scorpio. So just watch the pennies. Okay, Sagittarius. So out with the old and in with the new for you this year. I can see quite a lot of transformation this year within your finances. That's really going to, I think you're going to find a way to make sure not too much goes out as opposed to what's coming in, so that you're going to keep a tight rein on that. And also, it's a good year for you to sort out finally your day-to-day routine, and just to find an ability to find new ways and calmer ways to make sure that you get a balance into your day-to-day routine. Capricorn. Phew. Well, now the spotlight is off you, Capricorn. You've just got Pluto for a few more years, but that's okay. That'll just keep transforming you, keep changing you. Well, I think this year for you, you're really going to see your financial situation get very much on an even keel. I think there's also going to be quite unexpected romance, and that could lead to something more permanent. You're also going to feel a lot freer. There's really a sense of freedom for you, Capricorn. The challenges of the last few years are really, really going to feel like they are becoming part of what's brought you and made you who you are today. Aquarius. This is your year, actually, Aquarius. All that's happening this year is very much in your sign. And I think we're going to see you maturing like a fine wine. You may have issues going on around property. There may be a house move, or you may be acquiring a second property if you're fortunate enough to be in a financial situation where that is possible. And I wrote this down for you, Aquarius. I can't quite remember what my reasoning was, but I trust my reasoning, which was resistance is futile. I think you've really got to go with the flow this year, Aquarius. Okay, Pisces. You need to focus much more on you and what's right for you this year, Pisces. You're going to get some inspirational ideas which you need to really kind of concretize. I think you need to be keeping a notebook next to you so that you can write these down and just not lose these inspirational ideas that come to you. And also that's going to indicate an amazing amount of success for you. So you really are, all of you actually, all the zodiac signs are on a really good course for 2021. I can't promise you it will be the best year, but it will be different. And I do think that we're going into 2021 in a far better and more knowledgeable place than we were a year ago. And that has to be good news. Now, all through this, I've had Astropus on my lap, and Astropus is now going to say, "Stop, you've moved me, and I was having a nice sleep." So he's off. And I'm now leaving as well. And thank you so much for joining me for this rather lengthy look at what 2021 can bring for us all. If you would like a one-to-one to me to just look more in depth at your own chart and what you can expect in 2021, you know, my website is down here at the bottom of the video. Well, it will be. And if you would like also to subscribe to my YouTube channel, I'd be really super thrilled if you could do that. And this and many other great content will be available on my YouTube channel. In the meantime, thank you so much for joining me. I really wish you a happy, hopeful, blessed 2021. Thanks for coming. Bye for now. Bye.